Okay, we've had a very long day. I hope it's been enjoyable to you and you've enjoyed the conference and been informed, maybe entertained as well. Just as a final aside, I give my own personal thanks. It's been a very attentive and great audience. And I'll just call upon Michael Carmody, President of GMIT, to deliver the vote of thanks. Michael himself is a chartered engineer, so he'll be well at home in the company. Thank you.
Thanks, Martin. Firstly, it's a pleasure for me to be here this afternoon to welcome you to GMIT and to make some closing remarks at the end of the conference. In particular, I'd like to thank the Western Centre of the CIOB and the Western Branch of the SCSI for their continuous sponsorship of our International Construction Management Day here in GMIT, and it's now in its 4th year. I'd like to particularly thank Neil O'Connell, the President of SCSI, who we just heard a few moments ago, Gerard O'Toole, Chair of the Western Branch of SCSI, Michael Brennan, Chair of the Western Centre of CIOB, and Thomas Linnane, the National Committee Member for the CIOB in Ireland. We thank you for your attendance here today and your strong support for the conference, and indeed your ongoing support for the Department of Building and Civil Engineering over many years. I would also like to welcome Trevor McSharry and the students from our partner college in the Connacht Ulster Alliance in IT Sligo, and also students from Athlone IT, as well as staff and students from our Galway and Mayo campuses. The Construction Industry Federation has also given great support to the conference, and I would like to thank them and to the Regional Executive Manager, Justin Malloy, for his help in sourcing speakers for today's event. It should also be noted in January of this year, the Department of Building and Civil Engineering had over 50 third-year students out in industrial placement. I would like to thank the many CIF members for their involvement in facilitating this, as it is a core and essential element of students' ongoing education, and it really helps develop them for their future careers. And it makes the program very real. This year has seen a number of interesting developments in terms of professional recognition in regard to our students and graduates. Regarding the SCSI, I'm pleased to note that in late 2013, GMIT signed an educational partnership agreement with the Society, which is also recognised by the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. This provides recognition for the academic quality of our work here in GMIT and confirms that our programmes in construction economics and quantity surveying meet the core competence required by SCSI and facilitates our students' onward progression to professional membership of SCSI. I also know the Chartered Institute of Building have recently completed a reorganisation of their professional designations. From the 1st of March 2014, CIOB has been awarded an amendment to their charter, allowing them to confer the designation of Chartered Construction Manager on suitably qualified candidates, which I think is a very important development. That initiative was outlined to us here at the conference in 2012 by the CIOB Chief Executive, Chris Blythe. We see this as a very positive move that better aligns and makes a connection between our honours degree programme in construction management and the ordinary degree Bachelor of Science in Construction Management, and indeed the student's eventual professional designation as Chartered Construction Manager. And I think achieving professional designation is extremely important in establishing the profession among peers and indeed among the clients and public at large. Turning to the industry as a whole, I understand that you have heard here today that the construction industry is turning a corner and staging something maybe of a modest recovery at this stage, but led by the housing and commercial sectors, but some significant lag in the areas of civil engineering activity. The recent storms which fairly battered Ireland and the flood damage resulting from it has clearly indicated there are many such civil engineering schemes that need imaginative methods of funding them to recover Ireland must be explored. I note from the Ulster Bank Purchasing Managers Index that in terms of new orders, the industry has recently reported some of the best figures since 2006, and that a substantial body of opinion in the industry, about 2/3 of them, feel that optimism is well placed, and this improvement should continue throughout 2014 and indeed into the years ahead. Jobs are again, for the first time in a while, being created in the industry, even though at a modest pace to date. While the growth is encouraging, the modest nature would indicate it will take many years for the industry to recover to sustainable levels. Thus, a significant challenge for the government and the industry is to improve the industry's short and medium-term growth prospects through hopefully some innovative funding that stimulates development of the economy and indeed employment, while ensuring that such growth is sustainable in the long term and that certainly we do not return to the unsustainable growth that caused the current crisis and for the last number of years. From a GMIT perspective, those positive developments are very important also, because potential students applying to programs in GMIT and elsewhere are influenced by their perception of the future career prospects in the industry, rather than necessarily be focused on what careers will actually be there when they graduate. They tend to look at how things look to them at the moment of application. And in this regard, obviously, the whole construction and civil engineering industry tend to be very cyclical, and that affects our student intake over the years. It's also cyclical in nature, and that can lead to imbalances in the availability of graduates due to the 3 or 4 year cycle between entry and graduation, where conditions may have changed in the interim. But on a positive note, we have seen a significant increase in the number of applicants to our construction-related programs through the CEO this year for the first time in many years. And indeed, it's been fairly substantial that we see the applications are increasing about 40% or more in those programs, which is, I said, the first time for a large number of years. And admittedly, it's from a relatively low base compared to where they were. But it does show that the public at large and influencing in the student body do see a positive change in the economy in the construction and civil engineering areas. And I think that's very heartening for us, as it does, and indeed the industry, as it does reflect an increasing confidence in the future of the construction industry, which of course is a hugely important industry in Ireland. And of course, the positive developments are also good news for the students here today, who can look forward with a degree of confidence to obtaining rewarding careers in a reviving and strong industry. A new departure of the conference this year is that we've showcased what GMIT can provide to industry in terms of upskilling and research. At last year's conference, we received over 40 expressions of interest for a potential building a program in building information modelling. Many other professionals from industry have also approached us directly. I'm thus pleased to know that we've responded to your demands and that the details of a new accredited building information modelling program have been outlined to you here today. And we expect to commence that program in September. And I would like to congratulate the team of the department for putting that together. You also heard here today preliminary presentations from 2 of our doctoral students. Both Jan Gotcher and Emer Hassett are graduates of our master's degree in an environmental systems program. Jan previously worked in the honours degree in graduated from the honours degree program in construction management. And Jan has been heavily involved and supported by 3 local building contractors in seeking to reduce energy use on construction projects, which of course is a very important area. Emer is working as part of our CSearch Research Centre group in providing sustainable energy systems at a community level, and is currently investigating such systems as part of a field study on Inisher in the Aran Islands. The School of Engineering here at GMIT currently has an expanding number of doctoral students underway and would warmly welcome approaches from industry to work collaboratively on your research needs. Indeed, working on innovation and research and supporting industry development is a key part of our strategic plan. I briefly mentioned the Connacht Ulster Alliance earlier, which is a partnership arrangement with IT Sligo and Letterkenny IT. This collaborative partnership was formed in mid-2012 with an objective of obtaining technological university status for the West and North West region of Ireland in due course, and we are now proceeding to implement plans to allow us to reach the criteria required for technological university designation, and we'll be applying to the HE and the Department of Education before the end of the academic year to make progress in that regard. A key feature of the future of higher education will involve colleges working together to provide a coherent provision of programmes for the region and avoiding unnecessary duplication of programmes. And this particular issue is at achieving interest at a high level in government and indeed the Higher Education Authority, because we certainly cannot continue to duplicate unnecessarily where it's not sustainable. We will also need to ensure that students have clear pathways from further education into higher education and between institutions. Achieving these objectives will involve close collaboration between the 3 IOTs in the Connacht Ulster Alliance and with NUI Galway, who together form the West-North-West cluster of higher education institutions. We're also developing collaborative links with Limerick IT, and we will be signing a memorandum of association with them in the near future. Finally, a word I'm sure you'll be glad to hear at this stage of the evening, I would like to thank the expert panel of speakers, John O'Regan, Paul Carey, James Golden, Donald Crowley, Kieran Murta, Thomas McQuair, Val O'Brien, Jan Gotcha, Emer Hassett, Brendan Rudden, Hubert Fitzpatrick and Micheál O'Connor. Without them, we would have no conference here today. And indeed, without the sponsorship, we would not have no conference here today. And I'd like to thank the sponsors as well. So on behalf of GMIT and the Department of Building and Civil Engineering, I would like to thank you for your generosity and kind support, and indeed for your attendance here today. And maybe just to finish off by thanking Mary Rogers, the head of the department, and Martin Taggart, and the team for organising the conference, and indeed to wish all the students today the very best in your exams in the summer, and hope you have a very full and rewarding career. Thank you very much.